alaikum. Welcome to my kitchen and Sahtein. Today I'm gonna show you how I make Maqloubeh. Maqloubeh in Arabic literally means flipped upside down, and this dish is comprised of layers of vegetables with rice, and they're all cooked together in broth, and then you flip it over, sort of like an upside down cake. A lot of people find Maqloubeh very daunting, but I'm here to tell you it's not just for your teta. You can make it with lamb, you can make it with chicken. Today I kind of want to make a vegetarian one, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing with that. I'm going to slice up the eggplant into thin slices and roast it. I'm using one large eggplant. I'm also using a head of cauliflower. I'm going to top these with olive oil and lightly salt them. I preheated the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna put these in and let them roast while I'm getting the rest of the ingredients ready. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start cooking down some onions with the chickpeas. So I've got a couple tablespoons of grapeseed oil. We're gonna get this started on a medium heat, a good pinch of salt down. So we're gonna just let those sit for a little bit. The vegetables that are roasting in the oven don't need to roast for more than maybe 20 minutes or so. We don't need to fully cook them down because they're going to cook again when we layer them with the rest of the food. While the onions are cooking, I'm going to mince up 2 nice healthy garlic cloves. If you can't find garlic cloves this big and yours are smaller, you might end up wanting to use like 5 or 6 or so. I just want to cook down these onions until they're nice and soft, and then we'll add the chickpeas. And I'm just gonna drain all the liquid out of it. I'm going to add my grandmother's 7-spice mix, which includes black pepper, white pepper, cinnamon, cumin, cloves. Really nice. It's from back in Amman. This Maqloubeh is going to contain eggplants and chickpeas and cauliflower and gray squash, it's called, I found. It looks really similar to the squash we get in Amman, the squash that we can find in the Middle East. Not quite, but almost. We're gonna also put 2 of these in this. You can cook these vegetables on a stove, or you can roast them, whichever is easiest, so you don't need to worry about cooking them down equally or anything. Because you can use whatever vegetables you have at home and meats you have at home as well. The main steps of making this dish are cooking down your ingredients to a likable degree, and then layering everything together and letting it sit and cook for a while, and that's basically it. If I was making chicken, I would bake it or fry it, and then I would layer it in with the rest of it. If you need this to be ready in less time, you can cook these down less and it will still be great. That's what I love about this dish. It's so flexible and versatile with whatever you have in your kitchen and whatever you need to do. Another pan on a medium to high heat. Our chickpeas are basically done, so I'm going to take them out, put them in a bowl for now on the side. I'm going to use about a cup of basmati. You want to rinse it really well to get some of the starch out of here. We're going to make vermicelli rice. In English it's vermicelli, in Arabic it's sha'iyya. Kind of like little pasta pieces. You add a really lovely nutty flavor and unique little bit of texture to your rice. So I'm going to actually toast these up. Kind of a low heat, a little bit of olive oil. About a third a cup or so of sha'iyya. It's been about 15 minutes or so. I'll start prepping the rest for the bottom of the Maqloubeh. When we layer the Maqloubeh, usually I would like the top to be eggplant, but if we just put eggplant at the bottom, then it's gonna all burn. So what we usually do is we put a layer of sliced potatoes and sliced tomatoes on the bottom, so if a little bit of that gets burnt, it's not so bad. It actually adds a little bit of flavor. You wanna layer them nice, because when it's all done, you're gonna see what you've done on the bottom. The next layer we're gonna go with are fresh tomatoes. Batinjan, or the eggplant. The squash we can just tumble right in. Again, make sure you even out the layers as much as you can. And after that, the cauliflower. Oh my gosh, I just want to eat this the way it is. The chickpeas, let's get those. We're also going to flavor the rice a little bit with some saffron. So I'm going to put a nice little pinch in a bowl. I'm going to soak it in a bit of warm water. If you have any extra tomato from before, just layer them on top with the chickpeas and the rest of the vegetables. These saffron, the water's really soaked up that color of the saffron, so we're going to pour this on top of the rice. This is a chicken stock that I just made. If you want to learn how I made this particular chicken broth, you can check out my Sahtein video. You want to just put enough broth to cover the rice. And we want to bring this to a boil and then simmer it low for about a half hour to 45 minutes until the rice is fully cooked. Cover this up, you put it all together, and then you just leave it. Goodbye. So the Maqluba here is almost done. The rice is nearly cooked. So I'm gonna toast up some pine nuts for the garnish. And you don't need to use any oil. I'm also gonna chop up some parsley for the garnish as well. Last thing I'm gonna do before flipping the Maqluba is getting the yogurt side ready. Usually alongside Maqluba you have it with a bit of regular plain yogurt with some garlic or some cucumber. So we're gonna use this minced garlic and mix it in with some yogurt as a side. Now remember, if you're adding fresh garlic, eat it the day of. If you want to add fresh garlic to a dip like this and then put it back in the fridge, the second day the garlic is going to become really overpowering. That's what they say. You know your Maqluba is done when the rice is well cooked. No liquid on the top. I'll turn off the heat, let it sit for about 5 minutes or so, and then it's flipping time. I'm going to be using this, which is a little precarious, but it will work because I've done it before. You want to find ideally just something big and flat that can cover the entire mouth of the pot. Do it in one quick, swift motion. So let's make that happen. We're gonna garnish with parsley. Finally top it with our toasted pine nuts. Serve this, make sure everybody gets all of the layers. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice onto your plate and the rest of it as well. And that is your Maqluba. Maqluba is amazing on the first day. It is so nice to keep as leftovers and heat up throughout the week. You can refry it like fried rice. It's just one of my favorite things and I want to dig into it right now. Let me know if you do try and make this. Cooking for yourself and making good food for yourself is one of the greatest joys. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, then please subscribe and let me know down below if you have any other recipes that you'd like to request. Thank you so much for watching, and Sahtein.